Hold on. Look at my chair. Yeah, it's the first time I've done it at my office, but took the camera down. Just gonna do a quick video. I don't know how long, maybe 20 minutes, but I'm actually at my office right now. Hey, what's up, Andy? Yeah. Yeah, so last night, let's just fill everybody in. I made a post. I can't see the chat. Maybe if I hit that. Okay, now I can. Yeah. So last night, I don't really know how to use the YouTube posting, and I posted I was going to do a black tuxedo show with my SGC order, and I just fell asleep. That's what happened. But today I've got a PSA quick order, and then I wanted to show this cool redemption. Tomorrow or Sunday, I'm going to film the SGC one. So this, I pulled this out of a pack yesterday. It's the Acuna red ink from Heritage, high number. And that's out of, it's going to have a print run of 69. It's the special edition one, so. Best pull I've ever had by far. I don't think I'll ever have a card that good. Good to see collectors supporting SGC. Yeah, you know, I think they're doing a good job. They're not perfect, but I think they're honest, you know. That has to mean something. There is more to this hobby than just money. I know with all the SGC order. Oh, it's sitting over there in the corner. I know. I mean, I should pop it out tomorrow. Today we'll do the PSA. Yeah. So let's It's a small order though. There's only 15 cards. Yeah, the whole coronavirus thing has everybody panicked. It's like from Monday to today, what changed to cause everything so terribly? Turnaround time on the PSA one? I shipped it off December 28th, so was that 2.5 months? Roughly 50 business days. All right, Broth, I'll check it out. Check it out. You told me last night that you went 14 or 15. It's kind of like every PSA order you watch nowadays. It's mostly 10s and then people getting pissed off when they get 9s. Yeah, the panic's real. They told everybody to buy toilet paper. That doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe like food and water, but toilet paper? I don't get how that's going to protect you against the virus. All right, guys, I'm going to flip it around. I wipe my ass with the Astros cards. Yeah. Hey, cool there. Yeah. There's a lot of people in this hobby, but I think a lot of people are just trying to flip, which is fine, but it's just, when you're all about the money, I think that's when you start to become more corrupt. And it's my opinion on that. So let's take a look at the cards. Let me flip the camera. Oh, cool. All right. Love the lighting in this office, by the way. So, as I do with all the orders I send out nowadays, I write down what I think the actual condition is, because I feel like doing this as long as I have a good read on what a card should or shouldn't be. And of course I make mistakes, but don't remind me of the bear. Yeah. It's a bear market. See that bear? I do this. I do the card trading, and then I also trade commodities. So this is cool. So this is XRC 2017 Select Jackson. I guess I can put it in the middle. I'm used to putting it on the side here so I can put text and stuff on the left, but since this is a live video, I won't need that. Steelers? No, there's not going to be any Steelers. I don't like the Steelers. So this is out of 1500, the certified Brady. It's actually a beautiful Brady. Leaf certified, and just an awesome set. A set that's still going to this day. Of course, now it's Panini certified, but for the longest time it was Leaf certified. Puke. Okay, so this one. So I was telling people to buy him up last October, November. There's a lot of his cards that were still pretty cheap. And of course they spiked the last month or two, but this was bought raw, I want to say 375 to 425. And like, I don't think it's that awesome of a 9. I had 8.5 for it just because the centering's so bad right to left, but just got a 9. I'm probably going to put this in auction because I already have one, a nice 9 that's centered, and that's that. So all my vintage now goes to SGC, but this was before I made that switch. So this is a Gretzky that I had as a 6.5, PSA 5 Gretzky rookie. I think the centering's pretty good. Pretty cool. So this was like a BVG snap out. I think they had it at 6.5 or 7. I don't know. So a 5 on the Gretzky. I think it looks a little better than that, but okay, they gave the McDavid a 10, and it's not perfect. There's a little white, so I mean I always nitpick the cards, but the McDavid Young Guns. Whoops, bumped the camera. So there's a couple of these. This one's, I don't know why I sent this. I'll be honest with you guys. That left corner looks like a dog was like chewing on it for a little. How do I clean the cards before I grade them? So, strangely enough, I spray Windex onto a cloth, onto a microfiber cloth. So an 8 and a 7. This 8's pretty good. It's just got this like edge issue right there. You guys see that, right? So 8 and a 7. I mean, that's nothing too impressive. And then this card definitely wasn't one of my better copies. This set's tougher than you think. I had it as an 8.5. They gave it an 8, so pretty accurate. It's probably not as valuable in the 8 slab if I sold it raw, because you know on a different day Beckett could give it a 9, or even PSA could give it a 9. So is Windex conserving a card? I don't think so. It's like somebody opens up a pack of cards and say a Topps Chrome box, and their hands are all, they got their prints, you know, and they're holding the card and you can see their prints on the surface of the card. Like, is that meant to be there? No. So if you wipe it off with a cloth, I don't think you're changing the card. You're putting the card back to how it should have been. That's why we wear these creepy gloves, right? Here's an absolute and a 7. This is a tough set, really tough set, by the way. So this one was scratched up, so I put it as a 9, but I don't think PSA grades on scratching that tough. Pull of a lifetime? Oh, here, I'll show it to you. PSA 10. This is cool. This is the chrome. They call it a retro refractor, but it's not really a refractor because there's no shine. But it is out of 556, and that's Heritage 2001. Vanguard. Carter Hart. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in auction maybe tonight, since I have this already filmed. If not, it'll be in auction in the next 2 or 3 days. Here's a Vanguard Brady in an 8.5. Again, most of these 2000 sets are pretty difficult, so 8.5 is pretty good on that card. Here's a Trout update that I bought raw. No, I haven't posted the SGC, but I'm gonna do it live too, so it'll be fun. Now, if you look at this Trout, I bought this raw. I think it was 400, but it's not centered. I don't think it's centered good enough to be a 10, but my eBay, I'll drop a link in the bottom of this video. And then the last card of the order is this Brady. That's a mint 9. That's the medallion. I marked this as a 9.5. I didn't think it was quite good enough, so I thought it could be a 9 or a 10, and I got a 9. SGC, you just got to talk to them. Send them an email. They'll work with you. You know, if you're gonna send in 5 cards, they probably won't work with you. But if you send in, you know, a decent amount, they'll work with you. Something else I like that they do. Oh, that's the end of the PSA order. Yeah, it's $10, but I think you can get a little better deal if you send in a lot, just like anything else. Here's the pull of the lifetime. I slipped the gloves on. We're gonna break a box of this Topps Chrome, but this was the special edition. It's the red auto, and you know, when you break cards, you don't ever expect to hit a card like this, but they do have to come out eventually. But oh no, it was crazy. Like, if this card comes back and it's an 8, I'm gonna keep it no matter what, because there's a cool memory of all the boxes I've opened. That was the best card I've ever pulled by far. So let's break this. Break this pup. If you guys want to ask any questions, I'm gonna break this, and then we'll talk for a little bit. Then I got to get going. Yeah, it's tough with those sets. So here's Topps Chrome. So this would be a second-year Gliver. Moncada. Yeah, I think he's primed for a big year. Here's a Stroman to 150. Kopech. He's supposedly back now, right? Franmil Reyes refractor. That dude cracks me up. I don't know why. He looks like a turtle or something. This kid was supposed to be a good prospect, but I think he's kind of fallen off the radar. But Dennis Santana, Dodgers. Here's an Acuna. This is a card that you can probably slab, and the pop's probably 95%, and people are going to pay like 25 bucks for it in a 10. The way the market is, I don't know if the whole pandemic thing will affect that. I mean, maybe a little. There's a slab can. Tortuga, Pete Alonso, and Donaldson. There's the second auto. So, I mean, that's kind of the typical autos you're going to get in a box of this stuff. Steven Gonsalves, who at one point he was a pretty big deal too. Hey, look, orange. Who do you guys think it is? Throw out a guess. If you get it right, I'll send you 70 bucks. Throw out a guess real quick. Pete Alonso, Vlad, Judge, Acuna, Devers, Lewis Brinson. Did anybody say Brinson? So, I mean, that's not who you're looking for, but the effort was there. Oranges are cool, though. There's a Wisdom. Doel Lugo. Yeah, I was actually just prepping an SGC order. Probably won't be able to get that out till tomorrow. Do SGC cards sell as good as BGS or PSA? No, they don't sell as good as PSA. Not as high of prices. Beckett, I'm not really sure. I don't follow Beckett's market. I know there's people that pay a ton for the pristine and the blacks, but I don't know. But yeah, PSA definitely outsells SGC by a lot on the modern, and then on the vintage, I think it's a little closer. Eloy, there's an Acuna refractor, so you can get your value on these boxes like this by slabbing these sets that are easy. You know, I mean, this is probably $40 in a 10, and it's probably a good chance it's a 10. SGC slabs in the recent, yeah. Well, that when they talked to me with that on that article, that was like that was in the past. That was probably last June when they sat down and did those questions. So they just didn't get the thing posted until January. So I mean, I like PSA. I just think there's a lot that can be had from SGC too. 200 card bulk from PSA or SGC? PSA? That's crazy. Yeah, this is a pretty good box. I don't know if anybody was even watching the stuff I was opening. As for tougher grading, honestly, I probably haven't sent enough into SGC to give you an honest opinion. There's a lot of stuff that they grade a little higher than I think higher than my opinion, but I mean, that's just my opinion. And then there's some stuff that doesn't go as good as you think, so I think that's how it is across all companies. Goldschmidt. 2 more packs. Gleiber. So I'm gonna grab something real quick. I'm gonna grab my cloth. Okay, so these are my tools. Plus I have a light and a lamp. And I just have my cards out, and I always look at the cards with these gloves on, but I kind of hold the card on the side and tilt it like this. You can almost see, it's kind of weird, but if you push the card a little bit like that in the light, you can see where there's those little corner dings and stuff. A lot easier, so. And of course, if you have a chrome card and you know somebody had their prints all over it, you just take one of these microfibers and wipe it off like that. It's pretty easy. But you don't have that, and sometimes you get those little white pebbles. You can flick those off, but That's grading. So this is some. I just want to show you these cards real quick. So these are all going to SGC, and I kind of put the grade I think the card is on the top loader, and then I write the grade on my submission sheet. The one that I keep, not the one that I give to them. That one doesn't have a grade. I think I had that as a 9. But you know, cards like this, I think they're just cool in the SGC. Vintage especially looks awesome in that black. Peyton Manning Finest, so 9.5. So since SGC has the scale that employs 9.5, which I think is pretty necessary, you can put that in. Pete Rose. I mean, this is a beater. Look at those corners. But still an awesome card. Yeah, I'm in KC. Pete Rose 65. That's such a nice beat, and I have a 6.5 on that. This one's just a little off-centered, and most of these have the smallest corner imperfections on the bottom. Okay, this one's sick. Locked down. Yeah, the whole Corona thing. I haven't met a single person that has it, and all the people I've talked to, they haven't either. So this thing is beautiful, guys. You can probably guess how I got it. Oh, is it off-centered? Okay. I don't know. I'll have to compare it to the PSA 10s I saw, but I thought it looked really good. Got a Rogers Contenders. Pretty good. It's got a little white right there. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at it. If it's off-centered top to bottom, then I still think it's a 9. This is sweet. I just got this in raw today. It looks pretty good. It's basically all the classic Topps cards just look awesome in that SGC slab. This is off-centered. I mean, it doesn't look that great. I don't know if this will make the final cut. And then this one. Again, I don't send in everything to be 10s or even 9s sometimes. If it has decent eye appeal, then I'll send it. Oh yeah, I am kind of hard on my cards sometimes, because when I got into collecting, if you read what an actual gem mint card is, then you kind of can understand why you can think that. Yeah, I mean, I think the McGuire could be an 8 or 8.5. I don't know. This is a tough edge, but this will look awesome. This is actually one of my favorite hockey players, so I'm going to keep this for the PC, and it looks like a 9.5 or a 10, so I'm pretty sure it will get that. So Pasternak. So this is just 30 cards. I've got about 120 more that are going to go into this order. Pete Rose. I don't know. That's a beater. I have it as a 3. This is off-center, right to left, barely, but it's one of the cleaner ones I came across this week. This is a nice read. This set's tough with the scratching, and this is one of the nicest ones I've ever seen. So, just classic cards. A lot of cards from. This was a PSA 9 snap out. Jack Eichel. Yeah, I've got his SP Authentic Auto and the Young Guns one. This Pacific's beautiful. PSA gave it an 8. I was like, nope, not an 8. See that bottom edge? How there's hardly any white, and there's nothing really else going on with it. So we're getting a second opinion on that one for sure. Love the gloves. Yeah, I'm wearing this because of the pandemic. There's Pete Rose. There's Barry. So these Zions, I think centering is going to be an issue with these. These are tough to find center, so we'll see. I don't think they're 10s. I got this in a pack this week out of a retail hanger pack, this Judge. That's the rainbow foil. Pretty cool. I didn't put a grade on this Elway yet, but I think it's an 8.5 to 9, so Elway 86. It's a nice breeze. Yeah, it's tough. I've bought probably 10 of the Zions, and I haven't seen one that's centered that great. There's a Soto. That one, it's probably a 10. I've looked at these so many times. And then this set's a little more difficult. The Bellinger, I think that's a 9. So that's kind of the start of my prepping. I can take these gloves off now. Mandatory Bonds, yeah. I love Bonds cards, personally. I know a lot of people don't like him, but he was awesome. He's kind of from my childhood, too. All right, guys. If you have any questions, I'll answer. If not, maybe I'll do another post on YouTube and give you guys a time if you want to watch the SGC Black Tuxedo show tomorrow. Tomorrow or Sunday. Yeah, the gloves are coming off. It does look creepy, doesn't it? Yeah. It's a little weird, but it does the job. Bonds in the hall? Yeah. Bonds should definitely be in the hall. So should Pete Rose. Resubmit? Yeah. Yeah, all the time. Because you know what? As collectors, if you're sending cards in all the time and you're taking all the time and gaining the knowledge of how to look over cards in certain sets, I think you should have some trust in yourself to say, okay, I definitely probably spend a lot more time looking this card over than the actual grader did, you know, because they're in a hurry. They're rushed. They got so many orders to get out. If you think they made a mistake and you wrote down the grade, I think it helps to write down grades before you send out. So you can go back when the order comes in and see what you had it as. Trust your opinion, but don't overgrade your cards either, you know. Just give them fair grades and then see what happens. So if a card comes back and they gave it a 7 and you had it as an 8.5, I mean, it looks better than that, snap it out, try again. I mean, you got to realize that this is, the grading thing is just an opinion. Just an opinion by one grader on one day. So I'm gonna hop off here if there's no questions, and then we'll maybe be back on tomorrow or Sunday. What's the thoughts on the virus and the impact on the market, which will no doubt. The whole virus. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of a. You know, I think it's natural now that, you know, the stock market dropped and there's no sports going on right now, so there's no hype and hysteria and people talking about, you know, did you see Zion last night, this and that. So of course there's going to be a little drop, but give this thing about 6 weeks. I could see the market being almost back to where it was. This just seems like a government drill almost. They look up Event 201 last October. They simulated a global pandemic in Seattle at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So it's like exactly what they simulated for. Won't peak for 9 months. Yeah, Event 201. Read about that. So, you know, I think give it first week of May or so, I bet things are back to normal for the most part, but awesome time to buy if you're a buyer. I might run less auctions because I don't think the market will be as good right now. Government drill. Yeah, I mean, how hard is it to break the slab without ruining the card? Oh, it's incredibly easy. I mean, I could do it right now if you guys want to see it, but I've done it before. What's one card you hate but will never get rid of? I don't know. I always sell the cards I don't like. Here, I'll just show you guys. Let me find a card to snap. Maybe there's one in this order that I didn't like the grade on. Oh yeah. We'll snap the bat down. I'm gonna flip the camera around and I'll do this. It's gonna be messy, okay? All right, guys. So let me get my tools. 2.5 mantle. All right, so this is actually really easy. It is messy, so I'll have to clean it up after, but I usually put my hands inside the trash, over the trash can, and you start at the bottom like this. It's a little different doing it on camera. It looks crazy, but see how I'm doing that? Now the pressure that you generate will only cut the edge of the case. It won't touch the card. It's incredibly messy, but you just got to work down the sides. All right, then when you got the two sides done, then you do the top. Then watch this. Put your thumb like that, press against, pull the card out. Card's perfect. Now you have a crazy mess, but you guys see it? And the cards are all again, so it's that easy. So what did that take, 2 minutes? Nice technique. Yeah, that's actually I had a different technique I used to use, but I mean, that's the way I do it now. It works pretty good. So yeah, guys, if you have cards that you don't think the grade's correct, just snap them out like that. Sometimes the slab doesn't break open as easy if you don't cut the sides good enough. So if you have a little flathead, just push up like that, and it'll come open. Yeah, that's how COVID was started too. It's crazy. But I'm gonna hop off tomorrow. We'll try to get back at it. Yeah, I'm gonna toss that Acuna in the trash just in case. Gotta be safe, right? These are Husky trimmers. I got these at Home Depot. They were like 15 bucks, but I've actually had these for like 7 years. I mean, these have snapped a lot out, and they're still perfect. But I'm gonna hop off, guys. Thanks for watching. I thought that was a fun one. So tomorrow, okay? Later, guys.